All right, so what is going down, boys? Let's see who is in the chat. Welcome back. We've been, man, it's a little shaky here, huh? Leaning on the desk. Welcome back. It's been a little two weeks, huh? Or one we missed last week. We are back. A little 1 week off. Due to traveling, let's see. We got Adam. What up, brother? What is going down? We got Big Feist, Monroe. Brian's back. What up, dude? Wait, I already see you laughing at Big Feist. What's he doing? Righto, just right off the bat, huh? Oh, let's go, Brandon. There it is. We got Dustin Lee. What up, Howard? Eric D. What up? What up? All right, well, let's go down, boys. How's everybody been? You guys had a good week. We are back from Cali. And it was a really, really good trip, to be honest with you guys. Felt like I should have stayed longer. I got back here, and I think maybe a day or two after I got home, it snowed like, what did it snow? Like 6 inches. And I was like, man, should have stayed in Cali a little bit longer. But really, really good trip. I'm trying to think back on it now. We'll talk about Supercross here in a second. We'll talk about A3 real quick, and then we'll jump in and talk about Minneapolis. But just talking about Cali for a second. Short trip, only 4 days. Got to stay in a really, really nice Airbnb. Twitch's had a flood. I told you guys, had a flood at his house, and just redoing. They had to rip out the drywall, pretty much redoing the floor, everything, cabinets. Whole place got jacked up. So they've been staying in their motorhome for a little while, and then decided to get this Airbnb for the next couple weeks. So I got to stay in this really nice spot. It worked out pretty good because I was in town. Wanky's in town right now. It was Savvy's birthday weekend, and it was Super Bowl weekend. So really nice place to hang out. Got to come back, celebrate Savvy's birthday, and watch the Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys seen the story, did a little story of the place, but it's basically in the center of wine country, 360 degrees of all the hills. If you walk out the main part of the house and look over the pool, it looks at Big Bear. So it has snow-capped mountains. Just, dude, place is sick. Basketball courts, tennis courts, just retarded. Anyway, so hey, I felt like I was being pimped out. It was nice. But the really good part about just being in California was obviously got to see everyone. And what I learned about this trip coming back, and I told Mel, I was like, because obviously I've been out there for a couple other times to do moto classes, and they weren't on Supercross weekends. This time I planned it, so I was there doing Supercross, and that's the best. Honestly, that's a really smart way to do it for me, because a lot of times when I go, I'll always see the same probably 5 people all the time. You know, Taka, Twitch, Deegan's, my buddy Robbie, Wanky, and really that's about it, because I'm always in and out. I get in, I get there, I get my bike, I go coach for a day, hang out for a day, coach whatever, and then I'm gone. Boom. So I don't really only see those people. So being able to go to the Supercross, it's like I see the whole entire industry, so it's really good to go out during the Supercross weekend because you see everyone. All the people that you're like, when you're flying home, you're like, oh man, I didn't get to see so-and-so, I didn't get to see so-and-so, and you're like, man, me and him are such good friends, but I didn't have enough time to see him. Well, what's good about being there that weekend is everyone's at the race, got to see everybody, so it was really good just to see everyone, even though it was short, but cool to watch all the boys do the freestyle demo. Didn't get to see anyone practice at Twitch's house before the event just because it was super windy every day. So I got there on Thursday. Or no, I got there Wednesday night. Picked up my bike on Thursday. Those dudes were supposed to ride, and it was blown out, so I didn't get to see them ride on Thursday. And then I spent Friday at Paula, which was bummer that or Fox Raceway, whatever you want to call it. The main track was closed. I didn't know that going. Obviously, who knows that when you book your ticket three weeks to a month out. I didn't know I didn't even know until I got there. I rolled up and I went looked at the track and I'm like, why is the main track closed? I'm like, and then I looked at the post that they posted that day, and they were like, hey, main track's gonna be closed, not reopening until the 21st. I'm like, shoot, dude. So didn't get to ride the main track, but I got to ride the vet track on Friday. Got there a little early, burned some laps, and then I had two back-to-back private lessons on Friday, and I got to ride a KTM 250. So I'm giving Brian a little shout out, because I was laughing. We were clowning, just being funny. We weren't really clowning, but we were laughing. I thought you were getting a 450, and then you bought a 250. And we were like, oh, why'd you get the 250? Hey, the 250 is fun, dude. I don't blame you for riding the 250. I haven't rode a 250 in so long, because I think the last time that I rode anything other than a 450 in California was the time they gave me the 350, and I had a lot of fun on it. But I really had a lot of fun on that 250. It was 2022, and it was a KTM, so it wasn't a Husky. I got there, and my buddy from Husky was like, "Hey, dude, we don't have any Huskies here. We'll just give you a KTM for the weekend." I'm like, "Hey, it's all good, dude. I'm just happy you guys hooked me up with a bike." He's like, "Sorry to make you not ride our brand, but." I'm like, it's really the same bike, just different color at the end of the day. Because I got on the thing, within a lap, I felt like home. I didn't even feel like I was riding a different bike. Minus the fact that it's nowhere near as fast as a 450. The 250 is just easy to ride. And that's kind of why I like that. I was on the vet track. The vet track's really easy compared to the main track there. So maybe if I was on the main track, maybe I would have been like, oh man, this bike isn't enough. It's kind of hard to get over the jumps. But I was on the vet track where everything's really easy. And it was almost like the perfect bike for that track. So I honestly came home and told Mel, and I even told Twitch when I got back, I'm like, dude, I had so much fun on this 250. I'm like, I wouldn't mind having one in the lineup. But maybe I need to ride it on the big track first before I make that decision. But I thought about it, I'll be honest with you. I was like, I'm like, maybe I keep my 2021, turn that into a freestyle bike, and when I get my 2023, because I always get a bike every 2 years, maybe I get a 250 and make it my track bike. Because they're just easier to ride, man. You feel like you're fast on it because you can ride it wide open the whole track. It ain't like the 450 where you gotta cruise the 450. You try to get too aggressive in 450, the thing just yank out of your hands. But a lot of fun on the track. Really fun working with the girls. I got these two girls, Presley and Riley. I've worked with them. This is the second time I work with them. So they race every weekend. They're doing really well. Cool to see them. They have my same graphics, so it's kind of cool. Their bikes look like my bikes, and they're just really sweet family. So good to hook up with them, and got to work with some new riders, and also with another rider I worked with the last time I was there as well. So just all around good trip, and just wish I got to stay longer. Wish I got to ride the main track. But at the end of the day, I feel like I got to see everybody I wanted to see. And that's the first time I think that's happened on a trip there. Because I always fly home like, man, feel bad that I'm like, I didn't even call them. But it's hard when you know a lot of people to get everybody in. But other than that, I'm trying to think anything else happened while we were there. Yeah, we got to celebrate Savvy's birthday. She turned 12, so a little was cool. And we got to do that at that nice little house, and then came back on Sunday. So yes, at the races all day Sunday, got to watch the boys do their freestyle demo, which was really cool. And then the races was really good. I thought track was gnarly. Whoops are real gnarly at Anaheim 3. And then Sunday got to go back to track, do some more coaching, and then we got to come back and watch the Super Bowl. And I'm pumped LA beat Cincinnati. Since Cincinnati beat us and knocked us out, so I was really excited to see LA win that. So good times. Yeah. Other than that, I'm gonna drink here. We are now back in the Midwest. The crazy thing is, like I said, I got back here, it snowed like 6 inches. It was freezing for a couple days. Then it was like 60 today, right? 60 or 65, or maybe even warm. It's really warm today. But now we're getting this like cold little streak again, and then it's kind of all over the place. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do the classes here this year. I'm still waiting on getting the green light with the Hillsdale private track. That's my goal, is to have that as the home base for all the classes this year. I think things are changing in Grand Valley. I don't even think it's going to be available to do classes. I could be wrong, but it might. It's from what I heard, it might be out of the picture for me to use that place for anyone. I don't think it's going to be available. So that's why I was like, man, I need to figure out another thing, because there's really not a whole lot of Kingsville's, not a place you can do schools at. Even Midwest Extreme's really hard to do stuff. So it really limits. I've only been able to do one at AMP one time. It's really hard to lock in. That's why we're looking for our own spot. It's a lot easier when we just get our own place. But anyway, we get Hillsdale locked in, trying to figure out how I'm going to structure it. And I'm thinking I'd really like to try to like in the past, I think we've been doing it for 2 years now out here in the Midwest. Past 2 years, we've done monthly small group classes, and I'm sticking with the small groups. I like the small groups. I like being able to talk to each rider. That's why I like having a smaller group versus having a bigger group. Feel like it's more personal. I'll spend more time with each rider. So we're keeping it small, 3 to 5 people like always. But I think I'm going to shorten it a little bit. Last year and the year before, we've done 5 hours. I think I'm going to push it back a little bit. And I'm going to drop the rate a little bit just to kind of offset. Since you are going to get less time, obviously we're going to make it adjust the rate as well. So probably a little bit less, a little bit smaller or cheaper on the rate, but a little bit less time. It's not going to be a short class, but I don't think it's going to be 5 hours anymore. Just talking to other instructors, thinking about at the end of every one of my classes, very, very seldom does anyone ever even want to ride and try to work on what they learned. They're just tired. 5 hours, a long time to be on a dirt bike, especially when it's super hot in the Midwest. So I'm thinking maybe we can shorten it up a little bit so we actually can do a little bit of free riding at the end so guys can work on some of the stuff we talked about throughout the day. But if I'm looking at what I'm flipping, I'm going back and forth between 3.5 hours or 4 hours. Where it might land, I'm thinking leaning more towards 4. So I'm only shortening it an hour. I'm going to shorten it much. But anyway. And 3 to 5, but where the big difference would be from going last year was monthly. I really would like to do weekly. So if I like to pick, like if I can just do every Saturday 3 to 5 people and have a weekly class. So it's people that want weekly training, I'm available. And then obviously still have the private stuff. And I'm thinking about maybe picking a day. So it'd be like Wednesdays is privates, Saturdays is class. So if you want to come to a class, it's 3 to 5 people. You're going to be in a small group and it'll be Wednesdays. And then whatever we figure, if it's, 9 to 12:30, 9 to 1, whatever it is, we'll figure all that out. But that's kind of where I'm landing with that. And like I said, it'll be a little bit cheaper. Probably going to be like $150 for the class. Rather, it was $200 last year for the 5 hours. Probably going to scoot it back a little bit, make it a little bit cheaper, a little less time. That way, we're not. Here's the deal. Think about it. If you're at like 5 hours is a long time. People don't really want to ride at the end of the day because they're so burnt out. And at the same time, I think about like anytime I've seen anybody crash in my class, it's always been at the end of the day because people get tired when you make mistakes when you're tired. So if we can shorten it up a little bit, keep the focus really good, and then give people a little more time to ride, I think it'll be a better class at the end of the day. So that's where we're going with that. And like I said, we'll maybe try to do the privates on Wednesdays. It's just I just need to get the green light. I need the guy, the owner of the track, say, hey, you're okay to be there as much as you want. So as long as he says that, we'll most likely do this, and I'll keep you guys posted. But as far as classes, when it's going to start, I'm thinking, hey, 26, right? March 26. I think like, because right now we're in this weird little up and down. It's cold, hot, it's raining, snow, or it's snowing, freezing, and then it's warm. So probably going to have a little bit more. It's only February still, so I know some of the local tracks are opening the second week of March. I'm just going to go, you know what? I'm going to shoot for the end of March just to give myself a little bit more time for it to warm up and the weather get good. But if he's cool with it, March 26th, why not start on the 26th, right? Will be the first class, and then if everything's good, we'll go right into April and try to see how that weekly goes, if we can continue to do weekly stuff. So that's what we're going to do. If you want any information, we did a little bit of updating to the site. It's not all finished. We don't have you can't book any classes yet because I can't sell a class until I know I got a track. But once I know that, and I think I'll be able to get it answered by this week. So we'll have all the I'll let you guys know. We'll have all the stuff up on the site. But if you want to go to the site anyway and just read up on what we got going, check out RonnieFeistMX.com. Other than that, new merch is in the works. Working on about 3 new designs for RFMX. So I actually got one done. It's kind of cool. It's like a I should have just put it up just so you guys can see it. But it's like a NASCAR. You ever see the NASCAR shirts where they got like the car with the number with the signature? It's like a team shirt. It's like you go to collect the, you got the Lowe's car, you got the Napa car, you got this car. It's like that, but it's RFMX shirt. But we basically I got the idea off of making a shirt that's similar to NASCAR. So that's the first one we got coming out, and then we got a couple more we're working on in the works. So once those are out, I'll keep you posted. Looking for a new printer right now because the NASCAR shirt, we can't do a traditional screen print on it. It has to be a direct-to-garment print. So that's taking a little bit longer to find someone to print that. But we'll keep you guys posted on that. And other than that, we have the morning. So they're switching gears for a second, going from this page here. So me and most of you guys, now everybody in the chat here is all everybody knows. So you guys know, if anybody's new in here, we do have another channel on YouTube. We haven't done much on it lately. It's the Ronnie and Mel channel. It's our ministry channel. We are going to be post as tomorrow morning. So Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. And I believe we're going to it might go to Mondays, but it's either going to be Monday or Tuesdays. But anyway, it's starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. All Mel's, so Mel did a podcast for, I don't know, about 3 months, and I think it was a daily podcast. Did like a day, so she put out a podcast every day for a month, or 3 months. We're going to start posting those, because not everybody's even heard them. The only people that knew about them at the time listened to them during when she was doing them, and now there's a whole, like our YouTube page, even though we haven't done nothing on it, it's still been growing. It's at 101,000 followers, and we haven't even posted any videos on it. So we're like, man, there's tons of new people still coming to this channel, and people we see the emails. People were like, oh, I love this channel, da, da, da. We haven't done much. So right now, like, we've been on a long little break. We haven't even talked about why we took the break. We haven't said anything. We just kind of took a break. Press pause, but we're not done with ministry. I still work with FCA. I just haven't done YouTube ministry, if you want to look at it like that. But anyway, so in the meantime, we're going to start posting all of Mel's podcast on the channel. So it'll either be Mondays or Tuesday mornings. Mostly, I don't know. The only reason we picked Monday, because we were like, because it's called Mornings with Mel. So she's like, well, why don't we do it on Mondays? Mornings with Mel on Monday. I'm like, trying to steal my Moto Monday or what? But anyway, it starts on Tuesday. I might just keep it on Tuesday. Either way, if you guys are into it, check it out. There's like 5 to 8 minutes. They're devotionals, and they're really simple, really encouraging. Mel's an awesome teacher. Check those out. They'll be coming, and then we're figuring out how we're going to work back into that page. We might start doing maybe a live on that page as well, but just monthly, not weekly like I do here. And then same thing here. You guys know I haven't even posted nothing on here. I do lives with you guys every week. I haven't posted one video in probably been close to a year that I did an actual like YouTube video, but that's in the mix as well. We got a whole list of everything we need to get done, and new instructional videos. Like I was doing the how-tos last year. We're going to get back to doing those this spring, summer on this page as well. So hopefully we'll kind of work our way back into getting more content here, just not lives again. And then on the ministry page as well, we'll slowly work into that. So if you haven't checked us out and you're looking for just encouragement, Christian faith type stuff, check us out at Ronnie and Mel here on YouTube, or look us up, ronnieandmel.com. And other than that, that's about it as far as what's going down. So let me get a drink here, and let's see. Let's look about Supercross for a second, and then we can jump in. Let's see. So I'm going back. Let's go back to A3 for a second, and we're just going to look at the points for we're not going to talk about all the motos because, I won't say we're not going to talk about. I didn't put all the places and points up for that. I just got the West because I figured, hey, these guys are on, I believe, a 5-week break right now. So this is obviously where the West stands, and look, Craig is, in my opinion, I think Craig is going to be, if nothing crazy happens to Christian Craig this year, I think he's got the championship, 100%. He's confident, he's smooth, he gets out front, and he's just the guy. He's the guy this year. So I think he's got it wrapped up. He's got a 28-point lead right now, looking solid, and I'm trying to just think back to the race at A3, because now it's 2 weeks ago. Craig won, right? I'm like, I don't remember he won. Pretty sure Craig won. 100%. I think Craig won. That's how bad my memory is. But I do remember. So let's just. These are points. This isn't the place that people finished in that weekend. But remembering back, the whoops are super. This thing's all over my face. Let me move this thing. Maybe I'll put it over here. All right, there we go. Remembering back to the race. Now it feels like it's on my face again. I must lean the wrong way every time I move it. Mosselman, I believe, had a crash. I think he had 2 crashes in the main event. Don't remember what he really finished in the main at this point. Maybe I should have put up the results so we could have talked about it. But this is where he stands in the point. He's still holding out second. Hunter crashed in the main at the end. I believe, no, it wasn't at the end of the race. I think it was like halfway through. He went down in the whoops, right? I think he went down on the whoops too. But But anyway, and then Shimoda had the super gnarly crash in qualifying when he tried to scrub. Shimoda was on it. And then, do you guys remember? Does anyone know what happened to him? I seen him in a cast on his foot. Did he get hurt? Did he break his ankle? See, I never really get on the stuff. So if anybody knows what happened to Shimoda, is he out for the year? Is he just out for a weekend? What up with him? But other than that, 250 class, I'm going Craig all the way, without a doubt, as long as nothing crazy happens. But in the 450, let's see. So this is Minneapolis, 250 racers. So I must have not even put anything. I must have not even put anything down for the 450 because their points are going to be off of Minneapolis, and I do have those. We'll talk about those in a second. But in the 450 class that weekend when I was there, it was Anderson. So basically, Anderson got the. I believe he was the fastest lap. He won his heat race, and he whole shotted in the main. And Tomac was right behind him. So I thought it was going to be like a gnarly. I'm like, dude, the two best dudes, points leader. And I can't remember what Tomac's point lead was at Anaheim, but it was way bigger. It's only 3 points now. So it was way bigger than where it is now. And I was like, oh, dude, it's on Tomac. And I actually thought Tomac was going to maybe get him a couple times. If you guys remember in the race, it's kind of like Anderson would get away, and then Tomac catch up, then Anderson pull a little bit, and Tomac catch up, and Tomac's always good late in the race. So I thought, dude, this dude's going to for sure catch him late in the race. And then Anderson had like 3 laps in a row where he messed the whoops up every single lap. And I'm like, no, dude. To be honest with you, I wanted Anderson to win. I'm like, I want Anderson to win. I'll be honest with you, I kind of hope he wins the championship. Because when you just know someone, you got to hang out with someone a little bit, you always get a little more root for him. Well, Anderson was on Rockstar team. We did a couple little mini Rockstar trips together, and I got to know him a little bit. He's a super cool guy. So I hope he wins the championship. I think Roxon's out of it at this point. And then we'll talk about Sexton in a second, because I do like Sexton as well, but kind of pulling for Anderson just because I don't even know Sexton. So I always go, you know how it is. I like your style, and then if I know you as a person, I'll pick you just because you're my friend. But anyway, Anderson messed the whoops up a couple times, and I was like, oh no. But anyway, ended up getting a nice little gap there at the end, and then bringing it home for the win. And then obviously went back into this weekend. But let's talk about the 250 first. So we went from Anaheim 3, then we switched gears, come over to, oh wait, that's West Coast. Come over to East Coast now. So it's funny because big fight. What did you say to me, Fight? You're texting me during the race. He's like, who'd you ask? He's like, hey, he goes, yo, where's Craig at? I'm like, Craig races West Coast. And he's like, well, Lawrence is out there. I'm like, that's his brother. Jacked up, Ice. But anyway, all right. So this is the race results, and obviously I got the points, but their points are gonna be the same as the race results because it's been one round. But here we are. We got Jet taking the win. Faulkner pulling in the second. McAdoo, Martin. Hampshire, Brown, Robertson, Kitchen with the ninth. This is what I wasn't expecting. Like when I looked at the lineup for the East Coast, there's way more fast dudes in this class than I was expecting. Like the East Coast, this class is gnarly. I'm like, dude, it's a tough class. I'm like, seems like West Coast 250 is always faster, but I looked at this lineup and I would almost say like, man, I feel like maybe East Coast this year has got a tougher lineup than the West Coast. They're both gnarly, but there's some banger dudes in this class. Anyway, Jet and Faulkner were really, really close this whole race. I know Faulkner didn't get a chance to make a pass or nothing, but he was there the whole time. I don't know what the second gap was over him at the end of the race, but I know it was kind of one of those, kind of like Anderson and Tomac at. Oh, here we go with the lights. Always, right? Why do they do that? Piece of crap. But so, what do you guys think of this class? I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom. Austin Faulkner is a local guy. That is true. He is a Missouri guy. He grew up just south of, I believe, Midwest Extreme. So not far from here. Probably an hour and a half south of us. Maybe an hour. So yeah. He's a ripper, though. And I think, dude, I think Lawrence is probably like it's hard to tell. Lawrence. I think everybody expects Lawrence, but I think you can't count Faulkner out on this one because he was right there. And there's going to be times Faulkner's going to get a good start. Lawrence might come out mid-pack. And we'll just have to wait and see. It's so early, only one race. And there's still a lot of other good dudes. I mean, Martin's a champion. McAdoo had a rough. Remember McAdoo last year? Just ragged on himself. But I feel like each year these guys should get better and learn from their mistakes. Kitchen's another one coming off of Loretta's. This is his first year. So, I mean, ninth probably. I know he'd probably not too pumped on that. But I wouldn't expect to see him down there forever. Definitely going to work his way up. But I was reading some of your comments. Team Honda, Faulkner, Brian's the same. Faulkner has the experience and can stay out of his hand. Yeah, I think Faulkner has a good chance this year. So that's what I'm saying. It's too early to call anything. But who's your pick? I like Lawrence. You guys know I like Lawrence just because I like his style. But you know what? Faulkner's had such a rough run. It would be nice to see the dude actually get a good year. I feel like he just always gets hurt all the time. Bad things happen to it. It's just he never it all just goes bad for him sometimes. You expect him to go up there and then something. Nah. So I'm pulling for these. I'm pulling for both of these dudes. I like to see them both do good. What happened to the silver front tooth? You just noticed I don't have it no more. I haven't had the silver front tooth in shoot. I don't even know, man. 15 years? I changed it a long time ago, dude. I guess I grew out of it. It's kind of sick looking, though, huh? Every time I see photos of me with it, though, it looks like I'm missing a tooth. It doesn't even look like it's chrome. It's actually platinum, too. It wasn't silver. Platinum, baby. And it was the dentist that I went to at the time. It was actually his idea. And he suggested gold. Because basically, there's a story behind it. I can't remember if I came up short or if I overjumped the jump, but I did something and I smacked my face on my crossbar pad and I broke my bottom tooth off. Wait, what are you talking about, Mel? It ain't zoomed in. I'm leaning forward. Back off me. But anyway, I broke the bottom part of my tooth off. And then so I obviously went to the dentist to get it fixed. And the dentist was fixing my tooth. And he was, they give you the little, I was reading Hunt's thing. So what did he say? I seen the other day. Yeah. I posted it and someone commented on there too. Yo, you missing a tooth? Twitch used to miss the tooth. He had the jacked up tooth. I had the platinum. But anyway, that went in there to fix it and the dentist was he's like, they give you the temporary while they make you your permanent one. He's like, oh dude, you should do a gold tooth, man. He's like, that would look cool. And I'm like, huh, that would be kind of sick. And then so we got talking about it. And so afterwards I was like, he gave me the temporary and I was like, well, how long does it take? He's like, I can get your other one made. Probably take I forget what it was, 10 days, 2 weeks or something. And I'm like, could you really make a gold one? He's like, I'll make anything you want. I'm like, make me a platinum one. He's like, because I'm like, I didn't wear yellow gold. I wear yellow gold now. My wedding ring's yellow gold. Where is it at? And then my watch, my Rolex is yellow gold. But back then I only wore silver. So I'm like, yeah, give me a platinum one. I think I might have said silver, and then he was like, no, you want platinum because it won't tarnish. I think he suggested the platinum. But that's how that came about. I rocked it for a long time. And then I switched it up, went back to the whiteys. I had to get both my front teeth fixed. Everybody in moto probably there's a lot of dudes who have probably fake fronts because you kiss the bars, you usually jack up your teeth. So I'm the only one with fake fronts. All right, so obviously points standing here, no difference than what we just looked at because it's first round. So let's look at 450. All right, so 450 race results. I keep leaning. All right, so Anderson, Webb, Muscan, Stewart, Barsha, Tomac, Plessinger, Roxton. Man, I'm having a rough one, huh? Ferrandez and Brayton. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I missed the heat race. I didn't even watch him this week after I missed him. I just missed him and totally forgot that I missed him. And I sat down tonight and I was setting up the live and I'm like, dang, who the heck won the heat races? I'm like, I know Malcolm won because I seen it on Instagram. But other than that, so shout out for Malcolm for getting the heat race win, dude. But other than that, I don't even know who won the heat races. So if you guys know, it'd be good to hear. Yeah, Stewart has been solid. And the reason I missed him is because it was in Minneapolis. In my mind, I remember I was texting Big Five. I said, yo, what time race is on at your house? He goes 5 o'clock. I'm thinking 5 o'clock. I'm an hour behind him, which would have been 4, which was right. But when I thought of that, I'm like, there's no way the races are coming on a 4. I thought Minneapolis was on our time schedule. Are they not? I'm thinking, Minneapolis, they got to be on our time schedule, so the races don't start till 7 p.m. That's when the night show starts. So I'm thinking, shoot, it's got to start around 6 or 7 here, right? So I'm out doing my stuff, doing my day, running around, and I just happened to be at the gas station filling up gas, and I opened my phone, and I think that's when I saw Stewart wins the heat race, and I'm like, what? Heat race? And then I think I text Big Feist, and I'm like, the race is on? Or maybe I text him out. I text somebody, or I put, I think the races are on, and then somebody was like, I'm watching them. I think and it's funny because Big Feist is texting me going, Tomac's off this weekend. I guess he wasn't doing good in the heat races, and I'm like agreeing with him. Yeah. I just thought you like saw his lap times at qualifying. He qualified crappy. But anyway, so I only saw the mains. I'm not gonna hype it up here. So I saw the mains, made it home in time. I made it home in time for the last chance. I saw the last chance and then the mains. And remembering back, let's see what happened in the main because. Oh yeah, all right. Because Anderson, got, I'm not gonna say got lucky, but he did get one handed to him. But that's racing. At the end of the day, things make mistakes. Sexton had the gnarly crash. Sexton was basically out front, should have won the race, and had the crazy front end washed out in the corner. And it's just nuts. You guys see his front wheel? How the heck did he bend his front wheel from washing out in the corner? So the only thing I could have thought of is the spokes couldn't have been all the way tight. There's no way. Because if you look at it, that thing didn't fold. It looks like he slid and then it hooked. And when it hooked, I think it folded right when it caught the dirt. And there's no way a wheel should have done that other than I think the spokes must have not have been tight or something's off. But that was crazy. But thank God he didn't get hurt. And he'll be back. But that definitely sucked for him, dude. Because I like Sexton, dude. And he's kind of same thing. I think he's got what it takes. He can win, and it's been a little up and down for him as well, And then to have the race wrapped up and pretty much get it taken away like that sucks. But glad Anderson is so now he's down by I think I will pull it up in a second, but I think he's down by 3 or so. 3 points. And same thing, I think Webb and Muscan even got a little bump up in the program as well because I believe Stewart in second and he crashed? Or was he in third? Second or third, and he went down as well, and I think these guys benefited from that. But you know what? I know these guys are always like, I don't feel like I didn't earn it. But, dude, it's racing at the end of the day. Like, if someone makes a mistake and falls and you benefit, that's the way it goes. Like, hey, I know these dudes just like to earn it. Feel like, hey, I got third because I was in third and I won it, not because someone crashed and gave it to me. But, hey, is what it is. Stuff happens out there. But Stewart's definitely looking on it here with a solid 4th. He definitely probably would have been on the podium if it wasn't for his crash. And he basically just landed off that triple. Same thing, just washed the front end out. He landed with his leg out. See how his leg out? He jumped and he put his leg out before he landed. And as he landed, he turned a little early and he lost the front end. But the track was gnarly, like super ruddy, and that's hard to ride. I don't know if you guys ever had a jump on and jump, the on-offs. If you ever have to jump on and get into a rut and jump off of it and then dude, that's so gnarly and scary. That's not fun, and that's how that track was. It had ruts everywhere. So when you got to jump and land and get into another rut to take off, sketch. Super sketch. So anyways, that's why these dudes are the best in the world. They make it look easy. Let's look at the 450 points, and then we'll jump into the chat here. See how everybody's talking about. But anyway, so Tomac still holding down. Not a big lead. Only 3 points. And then Stewart, solid in third, 20 points. Not too far off. And then it gets really tight here. Actually, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth are really tight. And then Muskin ain't too far off. But so who do you guys think? I honestly think it is... man, it's hard. Hey, this is kind of cool. Look at this. Yamaha Cowie Husqvarna. the top 3 dudes in the 450 championship right now are the 3 dudes who switched companies this year. So that's kind of cool. All guys getting a fresh new start, new team, new bike. Hey, it helps sometimes, like pressing refresh, So that's kind of cool. But I do think it's going to come down to Anderson and Tomac. I'm pulling for Anderson over Tomac. Where's Sexton? Man, he lost a lot on the crash. Jacked his points up. But it's man. Tomac is a beast, though, dude. He's gonna be hard to beat in this championship. So this is gonna be a fun championship to watch. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But I'm gonna cheer on the 21. That's who I'm going with now. As we wind down, I still love to watch Sexton ride. Still love to watch. My guys. I love to watch these dudes, but I'm just saying. Anderson. I've always said that. Hey, Roxon's my guy as far as like smoothness, but I like Anderson because he's loose. It's like if you can combine those 2 dudes, it's just a cool style. Like the effortless, flawlessness of Roxon and Sexton, but then the looseness of because Anderson's so loose, he's just fun to watch. And when he's on, he's seriously probably one of the funnest guys to watch on the track. So, and he's been on. So, Big Feist likes Tomac. Well, good. We'll see who wins. Maybe we should put some money on it, Big Feist. How much you want to go? Tomac versus Anderson. I'll go with Anderson, dude, because I think he's just got some heat under his butt right now. And I feel like after he won his championship, a lot of people were like, "Oh, dude, he didn't do good that next year." And I don't, it's hard to say why he went from winning a title and the very next year kind of struggling. Who knows? I don't know what goes on behind the scenes and what's going on in each rider's head, but he hasn't been the Anderson. I think he won the title in 2018. He hasn't been that Anderson until this year again. And I think there's just momentum there. There's fire. There's motivation. And he's got a taste of what it feels like to be on top of the box, not just on the box. And I think he's going to be hard to beat. But like I said, Tomac ain't no pushover. 100K. He want to bet 100K? All right, you're right, dude. This dude, 100K. Big money bags over to China. I'll bet you the vet. Come on. Put the vet up. You can deliver it to me when I win, too. Put the vet. All right, let's see. We got a few minutes left. Let's jump into the chat here. So if you're new here, thanks for being here. We try to get on here every Monday night as long as I'm not traveling, 7 p.m. Central Time. Hang out, talk a little bit of moto, talk about the races, what's going on with Supercross, and what's just going on. But if you got a question, you can throw it up in the chat. So Woodcraft's saying, so we were obviously, I'm just scrolling back through what we were kind of talking about the whole time we're on here. He's saying try the 350. Woodcrafts. And I might I wrote it before. I might need to retry it. Because it was fun. And so that's the thing. I had the 350 on the big track. I had the 250 on the easy track. So it could be a difference if I went on the big track on the 250. Because then I might be like, dude, it's not enough. Where the 350 on the big track was fine. It just took me probably 2 laps to realize you can't ride it like a 450. You got to ride the 350 like a 250. Because the first couple of laps, kept casing all the jumps. I kept expecting it to come up, like the 450, and that bike didn't have enough grunt like my bike does, and I'd come up short. Like you got to carry momentum into it like the 250. Once you figure that out, the 350 was super fun. But I really did have fun on that 250. I'm not gonna lie. It just felt easy to ride. I felt fast. I felt fast for not riding for 2 months. I didn't ride from November 22nd. And then that first Friday was the first day I've been on a bike since the end of November. And I felt good. I mean, I was on the best track right with a bunch of slow guys, so I felt like the fast guy. Yeah, because the main track was open, so there was no pros there. I was probably it was all older dudes and small bikes, so I was feeling aggressive, dude. Hey, it's good for the confidence, right? First day back on the bike, go on the slow track with all the old guys and make yourself feel fast. All right, let's see what Jess Hunt's here. See what he said. All right, so I was getting at that. See how Jess put up the questions? If you're new here, got a question, throw the question marks up so I'll stop on it. Otherwise, I might think it's a comment and scroll by it. Let's see. He says, getting your timing down on jumping. Crashed and broke my right shoulder a while back, and it's like I can't figure out the timing, fast or slower. Then fear sets in. Now I get it, dude. That's the thing. once you have a bad crash or even if you don't break nothing, but it's worse when you do break something because it gets in your head a little bit. But even if you just have a crash in like on a jump or rhythm section or whoops, it can get in your head. You the only way I've learned to get through it, first you got to don't think about the what ifs. Forget about the what ifs. Focus on what you need to do. Focus on your technique, your form, be in the moment. Don't think, if you think what if, that's when the fear comes in. Like if think like, oh, what if my nose drops in the whoops, or what if I swap, or what if this, what if that? Like I battled that before in freestyle. Having what ifs, and you got to just get that out of your head. So focus on what you're doing. Don't focus on what you don't want to have. Focus on what you do want to make happen, and that is putting the bike where you want, being in the right position, all that stuff. But as far as timing goes, I don't really think you can, you can really like say, here's how you can teach or learn timing, other than timing's more something you have to figure out on your own, because every bike is different. Like, so meaning by like, how fast you might need to hit this jump is going to be different if you're on this bike versus this bike, blah, blah, blah. So I can't be like, hey, this jump is, if you're on the same bike as me and with the same gear, and we use that. That's why everyone in freestyle always ran the same setup, because we'd be like, yo, how fast you hit that? Second, kind of on it. And then we know what that means. Second, pin. We knew what that meant. Third, cruising. Like everyone knew what that meant because we all ran the same gearing, same setup, but same bike. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like when it gets to, say if I'm out of class, I got this guy on an 80. I can't say that to someone. I can't say, yo, second cruising. I'm on a 450. Might be second cruising to me. But if this dude's on a 250F, it's not going to be second cruising. It'll be probably second on it, kind of hard. So as far as just learning the rhythm and the timing of jumping jumps, it's one of those things you just have to, like I always say, start with the easy stuff. And you just have to jump things and learn your bike, because then you'll learn what each gear can get you. Well, where can second gear put me? How far can I get in second gear? Cruising, mid, throttle, and full. And then you start to learn that gap, like that feeling. You'll feel it. You can look at something and know like, oh, that's probably second gear, and you'll cruise, and whether it's a tabletop, and you can start to ballpark stuff, but you have to get out there and ride enough and jump enough things. Know your bike, know the gearing, know what second can do, because you're going to probably second, third gear, fourth gear. I just changed the gearing on my bike. My goal was to ride the whole track third and fourth. I don't ever want to, that's it. I just went up a gear, put a 50 on the back of my bike yesterday, and that's my goal. But anyway, point is, know your bike and know the gearing. And where do I got to be, second or third? And I think you have a 250F, right? So you're probably going to be second, third, maybe fourth here and there on the track. But if you learn those gears and you jump enough small, safe jumps, learn tabletops, that way you're safe. You jump those enough, you'll begin to be able to look at something and feel like and then you'll jump and get in the ballpark a little bit. Like you might tag it the first time, and then know, oh, that's just a little bit faster. Right. And same thing with the rhythms and stuff. And usually in rhythms, if you jump in and get the first one, you normally if you just carry your momentum, you'll get over the second one. Just like jump in, just keep the momentum going as you get started, and you usually can get through the section. Unless if they're getting bigger, say like a double into like, say you go like a 60-footer into a 75 into a 90, then obviously you're going to have to get harder, get on it harder. But I feel like timing is, I wish there's no like way for me to say this is how you can, or what do I want to say? How do I want to say it? Like, there's not that I can't teach timing. The best way for me to help you teach timing is just to get you into it, jumping more stuff and letting you learn on your own. Because it's one of those things that I feel like that's a common question too. I've had so many people like, how do you know how fast they hit it? Like that many people want to know that question, and I think that's a smart question, because who the heck wants to go too far or too short, and because that's when it gets bad, But it's seat time, dude. At the end of the day, you'll only learn how to judge things, and you'll have to judge, like I said, depending on, like if I was to have two different bikes, if I had a 250 for the track and my 450 for jumping or whatever, say I decided to do that, and then maybe one day I'm like, yo, I'm gonna ride my 450 at the track versus my 250. And I think even the announcers are talking a lot about this with Freeze switching from the 450 to 250, that he had to learn how to ride the bike. You do, because you have to learn what that bike can do. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when you just spend time on your bike and get comfortable on what your bike can do, and then you'll be comfortable, you'll know, like, okay, this is where I can get. So just ride. I don't sound like the best answer, but it's true, though. It's one of those things you will only figure out from putting in your time as a rider. And as a coach, it's a common thing that's answered, and it's always for me, that's like for me to just, oh, you just got to ride, dude. Just ride and figure it out. Like, that sounds like a great answer, but it's kind of true in that one. It comes with, like, experience of, it's like anything, huh? But a good way to train for it is just find a, because timing obviously could just be your, when I think of timing, I don't just think of timing the tabletop. I think of timing of, like, being able to go through a rhythm section. Perfect. And, like, that's time. Like, if you can ride a Supercross section, that's timing. Like, one jump, like, yeah, that's intro to timing, but to have true real timing is to be able to ride laps. That's real time, to do laps on a Supercross track. So if you do have access to, like, a really easy, like, obviously I don't know what your level is at all. If you're just getting started, period, maybe it is just the tabletop. Start with the tabletop, boom, boom, and get that dialed. But if you have actually, like, a really entry level arena cross track, you will learn faster because you're forced to learn the rhythm, and the more you can ride those rhythm and learn where to land on a jump, because once you go too far on those small tracks, boom, you're into the face of the next jump, and it'll mess you up. So you have to get that timing down so you're not too far. And same thing, if you're too short, what happens? You mess the rhythm up, can't jump it. If you're too long, you mess the rhythm. You have to be perfect. Supercross is technical. Arena cross is technical. And that's timing, in my opinion, having that, or I would say advanced timing. That would be, like, where you're really learning how to figure it out. But we all have to start somewhere. So if it is like, hey, let me just figure out how to time the tabletop, learn how to time the tabletop. And then, like I always said, then take it to the double. Don't start on the big double if you haven't even mastered the tabletops yet. Because that's where I think people get hurt early in the sport, and then they end up quitting, and they think they think dirt bikes are dangerous and it's not fun, and they're scared. It's just because they try to probably move up the ladder too fast, and they weren't really ready for the double jumps yet. They should have been working on tabletops. All right, that's kind of a long answer. All right, so I answered a silver tooth one. Let's see here. So Brian said he almost missed the mains too. Sexton. Yep, so I wasn't the only one. Yeah, dude, it came on at 4:00. I thought Minneapolis was on our time schedule. Even if they are on East Coast, that's only 5:00. When does the night show ever start at 5:00? That's why it didn't make sense to me when Big Fight said, yeah, it comes on at 5:00 here. I thought, all right. And I just kind of, like, blew it off thinking, and then I try to evaluate in my head when I thought it might come on here, and I was still wrong. All right, definitely some Midwest ruts there. Yep, that's soft dirt. That's what it was. All right, so we got Adam here. He says, outside of motocross, if there was another motorsport race you would want to attend in 2022, what would that be? That's a good question. Outside of motocross, what would I rather? Motorsports too. What do you? I mean, I like riding in the woods, so I think, like, I wouldn't mind riding, like, an enduro. If you're not just saying, like, outside of motorcycles, you're just saying outside of motocross where I'm not on the track, I wouldn't mind racing an enduro. Like, I love riding in the woods. Like, I had a lot of fun, and I just actually found remember I told you guys all about that cool trip I did last year to New York, and I got to ride those sick trails at the FCA camp. I found the chip with the GoPro footage for it just the other day, and I put it on the computer. So I do need to edit that and put that up on this channel so you can see it, because the best trail ride I've ever ridden probably my entire life. It was sick. But anyway, I wouldn't mind trying an enduro race. And if I was just to get off of motorcycles in general, I think NASCAR would be pretty sick, because I got a chance. What is that driving school? They have a driving school at the Kansas City Speedway, and I got to go to it maybe 2 years ago. And it was fun. And you wouldn't think driving in a circle is fun, but when you're actually going really fast and you're trying to hit your marks, because it is, there's still a strategy of coming in wide and then sweeping down low and then bringing it back out. So you're really focused on trying to hit your marks, and you got to be like, the less movement with the wheel, the smoother you are and the faster you are. So a lot of focus, a lot of concentration. I think NASCAR would be pretty sick too, just because they're going so fast. But cool question, dude. Never probably thought about that too much. Let's see. Here's Jess again. It says, would you rode the 250, would you go up a tooth in the rear to get more out of the corner, especially when you got a jump? Possible. That's what I just did on my 450. I basically went from a 49 to a 50. And the reason I did that, not that my 450 needs any more juice out of the corner, because it has plenty. I just did that because there's a couple times at the track where I like to ride my corners in third. I don't like the bike to be like pulling into the ruts really hard, or pulling into the chop. I like to let my bike lug through it. And so I try to ride corners in third all the time. And my bike didn't feel like it was pulling third. So I figured I'm going to go up one so it does pull third. And my goal, like I said, I don't even want to use second. I want to ride the whole track in third and fourth. So that's why I went up. As far as the 250 goes, I didn't pay too much. I don't even know what was on the rear of it. And like I said, I was on the vet track. There was only one jump on that track that was close to the corner that I was barely getting over, seat bouncing. So you could go up a two, because that's it. The only reason you would want, here's the deal, like, it depends on the track. Like, if you go up a tooth, it's shortening the gear. So that means you're going to have to shift faster. Second gear is going to be shorter. Third gear is going to be shorter. It's not going to pull as fast. So if that works for you in your setup, then and if your bike's not pulling you out of the corner, I'd go up for sure. Especially like, yeah, like think about this. Like, if I ride arena cross on my 450, I run a 51. It's because when I come out of those tight turns and that first little kickers there, and I want to sit down and walk and get 3 out of the corner, I want that thing to pull. So I even go up higher. And we ran a 51 on our freestyle bikes too. So yeah, if you got a tight jump and you want a little more grunt out of the corner, that 250 isn't doing it, you can definitely go up a tooth. And it's all rider preference too on a lot of stuff. Depends how you are. Some guys are wide open, revving the heck out of that bike, and other people that's kind of why I think I was having fun on that 250. It's because you had to ride the thing wide open. You had to pin it. Like, I don't ride my 450 like that. I cruise my 450 and just try to be smooth. But the 250 was just pinned everywhere, and I was like, man, this thing's so fun to ride. But anyway, I have not found land yet, Brian. We are still looking, and we're praying. So if you guys want to join us in prayer, please pray it up that we find some land, because it's gonna be. I can just envision it. Like, I think about it a lot because we're looking so much, and I have goals and dreams of what I want to build there. So I already got the vision. I can't wait for it to happen. It's just a matter of time. You just got to be patient, you know. We're Americans. Well, I mean, not all of us. I know Jess and some of the other boys from other places, but regardless if you're American or not, let's just say we live in 2022. The world is just the way we are. We want things. We want them now. We don't like to wait. Like, come on, let's go. But dude, I've learned you just got to be patient sometimes. You got to trust God, trust the timing, got to be patient, and it all usually works out in the end. So being patient, trying to, but I wish it already happened. I wish we were building the track right now and we were ready to rock this spring on my own spot. Oh wait, I just asked this one. But soon I'm hoping. All right, so let's see. What up, DK? Getting things together. Thanks for being here, brother. Getting in here a little late. It's all good. Let's see. Wait, let me get up. I think he's got a question here. Tommy Shea says, I've seen some new outdoor supercross tracks, and the question whether paddles could be used. Seen some new outdoor supercross tracks, and the question whether paddles could be used. It's so sandy. Yeah. So basically, they're saying like if it's tracks like super gnarly sandy, would they use paddle tires on the Supercross track? Is that kind of where you? I would just say like I wouldn't think guys are gonna use them at the race. Like I've never seen anyone. The only time I've ever seen anyone use paddle tires in the sand is in the sand dunes. I don't think I've seen people use gnarly sand tires that kind of could almost be really similar to it, but not a true paddle tire. I don't think I've ever seen anyone race with a true paddle tire. And the only reason I think you probably wouldn't see that even on some of the sandier tracks is because the jumps and the whoops are still hard pack. Like the face of the jump and the whoop is still pretty hard pack, even though if like think about Daytona is pretty soft track, but yet the whoops. So if you had a true paddle tire on, I think it'd be kind of sketchy. In the whoops, especially. But they do make gnarly sand tires that are actual, knobby tires that just have such big gapping in the way the knobby pattern is. It's almost really similar to a paddle tire, and I think those dudes would be using them for sure. All right, let's see here. When we got Eric D here. When are you and Mel speaking at that singles event? I believe it's March 25th. And it's in Lee Summit at a local church. I'll make an announcement. I have March 25th in my phone, but I'll let you guys know if anybody's local want to come out and hang out. Me and Mel will be there doing that. All right, so J.S. Hunt says, what hobbies do you have other than hunting and moto? I mean, dude, I feel like I probably did everything and will do anything if I get the chance. But for the most part, since I really moved to the Midwest, I really haven't done anything other than ride and hunt. I feel so lately, just those two. Riding is kind of just who I am. I don't really. I don't even feel like I call it a hobby. It still feels like a job. I'm not a paid professional anymore, but I'm a coach now. So moto is just what I do. Period. But hunting feels like a true hobby. I feel like that is a hobby. But I mean, dude, if I go somewhere where I can surf, I will surf. If I go somewhere where I can snowboard, I snowboard. I got a road bike, I got a mountain bike. I'll don't ride them as much as I should, but if I have opportunities to ride with people, I'll go ride with people. I like being outside and like doing a lot of stuff. And I would probably say martial arts. I don't know if I would say that was a hobby. I guess you could call it a hobby, but I don't know. I feel like I did that for so long. It just felt the same thing. It felt like that was just a part of me, but I haven't trained in martial arts since I left California because I left my school. But I would say that's something that I do enjoy. But for the most part, I would say at this time in life, probably hunting is that's really it. Dirt bikes and deer. Do some deer hunting, boy. All right, let's see. Are we at the end here? What up? We got... Is that the White Lotus? Am I saying that right? That sounds like a Kung Fu name. He said, what up, Kung Fu? The White Lotus. What up, brother? Like that ninja name. All right, we are winding down. Oh, it is 8 o'clock already, too. Dang, dude. This went by quick. All right, let me get this last one, and then we'll wrap it up here. Let's see. We got the Kawasaki Kid here. Let's see. It says, can you still backflip a bike, and will you be at Supercross in Washington? I will not I won't be at the Supercross in Washington, and I haven't backflipped a bike in a long time since I left California as well. But if I had to backflip a bike, I'm pretty confident I could flip a bike. Did it for a long time, and probably be nervous. I'll be honest with you, probably get nervous the first time, but I'm pretty sure I could do it if I had to. But I have no plan on doing it because I'm like, I don't need to do it no more. So I probably wouldn't do it just to prove a point. But anyway, fun trick though, definitely fun trick. If I got a popper ramp at the house, I can't guarantee you I wouldn't be thinking about it because the popper ramp is fun. First gear flips at 45 feet. They're pretty fun. That's the original ramp we all learned to flip on. So it would be pretty fun to arc one off of that thing versus for the old time's sakes. But I'm keeping it safe these days. From now, I'm just going to enjoy riding and coaching and just helping others. Trying to come home and in one piece and enjoy dinner with the wife. So, but hey, thanks again for being here, guys. Appreciate you guys being here week after week. Good to be back. We will be back next week, same time, same place. So we'll see you next week. Ride safe, stay blessed, and much love. Peace out.